Hey there, everybody. Happy Sunday night. We are wrapping up September in a couple days, and temperatures challenged a record and tied a record today here in San Antonio. It was extremely hot and way too warm for this time of year. Remember, we're in fall, but instead we're seeing more summer-like temperatures and more of the same is expected for the next several days through tomorrow, through Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not until the end of the week where it comes down a little bit. And we start to return some rain chances by this time next weekend, but right now it doesn't look too impressive. In the meantime, it's clear, it's sunny. The mornings will feel great. It's just the afternoons that really soar up in temperatures and climb and drive up fast because of high pressure. We'll talk all about that in a second. But again, today's numbers were staggering. Today's high tied a record set back only 5 years ago in 2019 of 97. So we didn't break the record, but we tied the record of 97. If you look at the second column, normal is 87. That is the typical average high we see in the last days of this month, and instead we hit 97, so again, a full 10 degrees above average. The morning low, we were at 64 this morning, typical 66, so we were in the ballpark for that, the morning low, but the average high is 87, and we hit 97, way too hot for late September. Okay, outside it is a clear night. We have record heat in store for this week. So just like how we tied a record today, likely tying or breaking a record tomorrow. Notice the first 2 days on this graphic, tomorrow and Tuesday, so September 30th and October 1st. The yellow numbers represent the daily records, so both those numbers are at 96, 97, the daily records, but tomorrow's high is 97, and Tuesday's high is expected to be at 98. So both those numbers, from the looks of it, from what we're seeing here at KENS 5, we look to at least either tie or at the very least, I think we beat those records tomorrow and Tuesday. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, a little different. We'll come down in temperatures just a few degrees, not as hot as 98 to 97. 95 Wednesday afternoon and 95 Thursday afternoon. So it's going to be extremely hot for the next 4 days, but the next two is when we start to really challenge, if not break those records. We'll be a couple of degrees away Wednesday and Thursday, but I think tomorrow and Tuesday will be the primary days we see record-breaking heat here in San Antonio and pretty much all across the state, really. It's really extremely hot. From here to Corpus Christi to Houston to Dallas, we're all experiencing a very similar weather pattern with sunny skies and a lot of heat in the forecast. Now, outside right now is an 81. Humidity is phenomenal. It's been like that for the last 4 to 5 days, really. Since Wednesday afternoon, last Wednesday, we had a front roll through, and that's really kept the consistency and trend of very comfortable mornings. That's been chilly. This morning we saw Kerrville dip down to the lower to middle 50s in the hill country, so it felt great up there. Now with, again, dry air, loves to heat up fast. We saw from the middle 60s in San Antonio to the upper 90s, a huge diurnal swing in temperatures. 97 the high in the city, which again tied a record. 96 in Del Rio today, 90 at Rock Springs, 98 in Pearsall, and almost 100 degrees in Beeville. They hit 99 today on the last Sunday of September. Meantime, you can see a pretty huge difference in temperatures from here to the hill country. The higher terrain, the higher elevation for the hill country, Kendall County, Kerr County, Bandera County, you can see cooler temperatures pretty fast in the overnight. So, I mean, from 81 in the city to 68 in Boerne, that's a 13-degree drop in temperatures the farther down I-10 you go. So it feels great in the hill country, upper 60s, lower 70s, while most of the city are sitting in the 80s and upper 70s right now. Radar dry, and that's how it stays for the next 5 days at the very least. Tomorrow morning, as you wake up, let's just stop the clock. We may see a couple of 50-degree readings in the hill country. So if you're watching from Fredericksburg, Kerrville, Comfort, Kendall County, Bulverde, for example, anywhere west of Bandera, that's where we're expecting a light chill on the air. It will be a little chilly here in San Antonio tomorrow morning, but mid-60s compared to the upper 50s. That's a pretty decent temperature gradient and difference. So just a light chill on the air, clear skies, low humidity tomorrow morning, going to feel great. And in the afternoons, we climb and climb and climb. Now, this forecast model says 95, but I think we stop at about 97, which would break a record if we do hit that. Tomorrow's record is 96. Tomorrow's record was set back in 2019. Forecasting a high of 98 on Tuesday. That daily record, as you saw in the last graphic, is about 97. So both Monday and Tuesday, record-breaking heat. Wednesday will get close, which is why it's an alert day. We'll challenge that Wednesday, but I do think for sure tomorrow and Tuesday will be either at tide record or record-breaking heat for San Antonio. And then here's the reason why. All the colder air is far to the north. The Dakotas, far into Canada, really. And for our forecast, really driven by this heat high. And unfortunately, it can still remain pretty strong in September and October. It's not really until November we get consistent cold fronts moving through, dropping the highs into the 70s and 80s. But meantime, it's just remaining hot. And remember, September and October still reflect a pretty active month in hurricane season. Now, Hurricane Helene made landfall as a Category 4 back on Thursday, so a few days ago. Providing heavy rain, widespread flooding, wind damage, excessive rainfall amounts that led to devastation across the Carolinas, from parts of Georgia to Nashville and near the Ohio River Valley. Now, that is now a remnant low. It's no longer a storm, but you look farther south in its wake, pretty much right where Helene got started last Monday, so basically a week ago, another storm in its place. Now, this is just a tropical wave. It's not named yet, but it will continue to march farther northwest towards the Yucatan near Cancun and eastern Mexico. And then as it crosses into the Gulf, that's where it could form into a tropical storm or a hurricane. But that could easily happen as early as, let's say, Thursday. Here's a model. This is one of our models. This is the European model, long-range outlook. Now, it starts in the Caribbean and doesn't deepen in low pressure or it doesn't deepen in strength until pretty much Friday into Saturday. Now, this is a long-range model, so take it with a grain of salt. So this particular model says going into Florida sometime next Saturday, but this easily could move towards Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, or Mexico. Because this is just one opinion on what could happen. A lot of the other models, the other long-range models, put it towards the Panhandle of Florida, put it towards Louisiana. So it is way too early to say exactly where this particular forecast is going to make landfall. But with that being said, late September, early October, still hurricane season. So we have to keep a close eye on anything that forms. And hopefully, it moves closer to Texas. That would swing in more cloud cover and some rain, which we desperately need. Because Louisiana got a storm, Florida got Hurricane Helene. And we had Beryl move into Houston earlier in the season. So all of the Gulf of Mexico has seen, pretty high activity in the tropics, but some of which just hasn't really moved towards San Antonio. And to see some more cloud cover and some rain would definitely be some much needed rain and beneficial here in our area. But again, this is a one forecast model. This one says towards Florida next Saturday, but take it with a grain of salt. This could easily move farther east or west by tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. These models update every single day, and we'll continue to keep you posted here on KENS 5. All right, here's the 14-day, everybody. It is going to be extremely hot tomorrow. 97 the high, which would break a record. Same thing on Tuesday. If we hit 98 degrees, that would break a record setback, I believe, in, let's just double check, because we have it right here. So we'll go back to the 14-day in a second. So tomorrow's record was set back in 2019. Tuesday's record was set back in 1989. Same thing for Wednesday, and Thursday's record, 1979. So some of these records have been in place for decades, and we'll be challenging some of those temperatures. And I do think tomorrow and Tuesday we break those records set back in 2019 and 1989. But Wednesday and Thursday, a little iffy on if we see record-breaking heat. But Monday and Tuesday, definitely likely. Wednesday, it's possible. And then Thursday, we start to trend down in temperature. And then by the next weekend, a little cooler, but still hot, mid-90s, Saturday and Sunday for October 5th and 6th. Some models depicting some rain chances by the middle of October, but I think first 2 weeks of the new month are hot, it's sunny, it's clear, and not much rain is in sight. For more updates weather-wise, download the KENS 5 weather app. We'll continue to have more updates on this extremely hot weather pattern, the record-breaking temperatures, and details on any weather system that moves our way. Anything tropical in the Gulf of Mexico, we'll have updates on KENS5.com. So feel free to download that. The KENS 5 app is free. Otherwise, weather impact alert days for tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Record-breaking heat in the forecast are at least the middle of the week with slightly cooler air on tap. Not as hot by Saturday and Sunday. Have a great week, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you on KENS 5 News at 10 in about 30 minutes. So tune in, and we'll see you later.